everybody, today we're playing Standard Brawl with Jenova, Ancient Calamity. She's a 4-mana 1/5 in Golgari, which is black and green, legendary creature alien, and has at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to Jenova's power on up to one other target creature. That creature becomes a mutant in addition to its other types. Whenever a mutant you control dies, during your turn, you draw cards equal to its power. So with this commander, we're going to take advantage of giving counters to creatures. We're playing quite a few mutants. In Standard Brawl, we have there's a couple we have in this list. How many mutants? Total of 6 mutants, but we actually have one more because we have shapeshifters, and we're really taking advantage of the turtle set. Turtle set has probably one of the better synergies with the mutant package. That means if they died on your turn, you attack, you're able to draw cards. And for the other creatures, she just needs to get to combat. You give a counter to a creature, and if they block and it dies, you get to draw cards. We have two themes. The big theme here is just good stats. Having mutants, we're playing mutant matters. We're also giving counters to our creatures. A couple synergies with counters is Bristly Bill giving counters. Mutagen Man gives counters to our commander. We also have Ouroboros gives counters. So that's one side of our deck. And the other one is to have some sacrifice matters, because if we have a creature that's a mutant, we can actually sacrifice it on our turn to draw cards and refuel. That's one of the weaknesses in Golgari. Sometimes you just need to refuel, and we have a couple ways that can help us. The Get Ravenous Ride just doubles down. Not only are you drawing cards once you saddle the creature, but if that creature's a mutant, now you also draw cards thanks to Jenova, and now you get to, I believe you can maybe order the triggers and just put all the lands. That allows you, even against the control decks, be able to refuel if we get to that point. We also have a little bit of a Start Your Engines package. Because of Gas Guzzler, we get to sacrifice a creature and then we get to draw cards. If it's a mutant, we get to draw even more cards. And that's why we're running the colorless lands. Also, Amonkhet Raceway is pretty nice to any deck that doesn't have haste. It's one of the limitations of the deck. And once we get to max speed, we can have a sneaky way of just giving a creature haste, especially if the opponent tapped out, and just go for lethal. This is nice. Also drawing, discarding, and just additional land mana for Jenova is not bad at all. Other ways to sacrifice Bebop and Rocksteady. We have a double theme. Either we can discard and bring it back to able to stay dead or zombify, or to sacrifice it, a permanent. We can even sacrifice lands if we got flooded, but mostly to sacrifice our mutants on our turn with our commander to keep drawing cards. Sephiroth can also help us sacrifice the creature to draw additional cards. And we have Super Shard that grows depending on the card that gets sacrificed. And from this Marvel set, Killmonger is very good because we run high creature density, and now its removal tied into sacrificing a permanent. So we may even double down, make even a small creature immune, sacrifice it, draw cards, and also deal with their creature. Alright, let's see how we do. Jenova, Ancient Calamity. Against Kellan. At least we go first. The matchup is difficult. Gonna need to hit lands, but that is easier said than done. Huge. We can get a Fabled Passage, that'd be great. I want to play Jenova. Thinking they probably are bouncing our stuff, but they're down to 10. That's very important for us to hit our lands. Okay, I'm thinking that's the case. He has way to bounce both of our stuff. So bounce. Got something with flash, I can deal with it. If this is Aetherize, I have. That's not enough. We played around their bounce spells, and he punished the Kellan for being greedy. If we didn't get a no-build start, I don't think we had time, but we were pretty fortunate they just didn't bounce all our board. I didn't attack with these two creatures because they could. Again, Aetherize, the one that your attack creatures go back to hand, and we get to rebuild the board. GG's. We're against Raph and Mikey. So then, Hong 2 is not bad, but I don't think it's the matchup for it. I think it's too slow. I'm looking for removal. This is sorcery speed. This is nice, because at least either I burn removal or take the ramp. And I get to know what their hand is. Fine. Okay. So they have more removal. This is a sorcery. I would like to play Mole Man. I can make 2 tokens. But this is a sorcery, right? Alright, the opponent said it's enough. Yeah, next turn I was going to probably play Mole Man. I had Fabled Passage, make 2 tokens, sacrifice a token, and just start attacking. And the opponent just had creatures. Interesting they didn't have ramp. It was too slow for them. GG's. We draw land is not too bad. This is a risky start. Very huge. Play the Marsh Flats to play a Bronco. They're so far not great for now. Bebop is not a bad card here. Ooh. They're growing the guy. I think here we have to do as much damage as possible. And if he wants to trade, I think I'm okay with this. They take 4, they take 6. Not bad. And also gets us a little bit closer to our mana. Didn't get it. I would like to... Unfortunately, I can't saddle. I'll have to take this. We discard a card. Do we discard? So we can always discard if we really need to. I think we may have to discard. Take one. Hopefully we get close to that land, but if not, probably bat. Yeah, argument maybe Chocobo. If we wanted Sephiroth. You have Vigilance now. Come on, drawing cards. I think we just take it. We want them to lose life here. We can deal with the U. Have to deal with the Channeler. Put the counters there he wants. Oh, we have to... If we go here and settle and if we force all damage... And we have to do this, it's just... What if we deal with the Monger and we get to do increase? I think we have to do this line. As much damage as possible. And we got there. Yeah, we didn't have another turn. Yeah, the power is sacrificing when we need to. Probably the only questionable thing is maybe instead of Sephiroth, probably discard the Shrieker to give us access to a little bit more damage. But we take advantage of sacrificing permanents. Thanks to the Super Shredder, our commander, we can draw later cards. And we got to outrace the life gain deck. GG's. Take the rest on one, see what they got. Honestly, I don't care about too much about a road. Hey, the Bronco. Saddle 3 is not the easiest to saddle. Bare minimum, we draw cards. Oh, not bad. There's some nice equipment. Let's see what they got. They got the tech. That's the boring card. That's not the tech. Be with you, so we can start drawing. One, two, three. Next turn we can play Hydra. I think I would like that for my commander. If he airbends the Hydra, it's fine. You gotta assume he wants the boots to play the boots early. Then give their commander haste. Yeah, Let's see if it gets airbended. That's fine. I do get to just recast it. I think I will. They do get to, when you attack, yeah, it gets to airbend quite a bit. But what I do, I think I'm just going to deal with Aang and airbend their commander. They still have their road, but they're pretty stuck on white mana. They only have one. What did they name? Human? Yeah, they do get to draw cards. The other thing is we just deal with their commander. And we attack. We have two options. If we give him haste, I don't think... I think I prefer to just kill the commander, especially now that it is... They don't have mana for other stuff. Do I like the changeling? It is good into some of their cards. I don't hate it. Now the question is... We don't have mana to do everything we want, unfortunately. But we do get to settle and do damage. I think that's better than just dealing with Aang and then airbending the other way to give haste. We can deal with the boots. But they need 6 mana. Oh, we can wait. Let's see if they hit their land drop or not. This is pre-combat, right? Yeah. Yeah, combat. Huge. I think we do this instead. 1, 2... 4. I think I am putting this and settling. He's going to erode. But if he trades, I want to spend the mana. Let's go for damage. Oh man. This is not bad at all. We don't know what these 4 cards are, but we are pressuring their life. They take the 2. Maybe bounce 2. We draw removals, not bad. Oh, and they get to attack and read it again, right? Yeah. We may punish them, but we need to draw well. That is not drawing well. So close. Because if I do 2 and I get 3, they're down to 1. If we drew a land, but we weren't lucky. Yeah, we get to 3. I guess we do this and pressure. What else can we do? I want something with haste, but so close. Get him to 1. Yep, GG's. Nothing I can do for this point. I needed the Bronco to actually land, but it didn't land, so we lost. We can play on 3. Not terrible. Well, it's 1 mana do nothing, which is good, but they do know what their hand is. Play the slasher. At least they're digging for answers. I am thinking I maybe played Red Knight Chocobo. Although the Chocobo is not that great. Okay, I like this more. Put it on you, we need to do as much damage as possible. There are borrows that can get us, but at least this is mana efficient. Oh, we have a backup. Not too bad. Also, our creatures can't be countered. I like the Mossworm, right? Try to get out of range of his removal. We can go for a hit here. But let's deal with Kefka. Sorry, bird. You gotta do some damage here. I think a lot of tap lands. I don't think you run that many. Fine. Like the slasher. It has to manifest. You can name Mutant. Mutant is the big one to name here. But we need to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we wait because I need to discard this for Kefka. Yeah, that's his play. They always got it. Sure. See what your hand is. Well, that rebuke is out. So we know they have this. Not looking too good. I do need to name Alien. Yeah, it's not looking too hot. They just drew perfectly. Yeah, we need to effectively not draw bad from this point to the rest of the game. If we draw a single bad card, we lose this game. That's where we are right now. Alright, that's one of our better draws. So we get to force him to discard. Not the worst, at least made our next draw not bad. Too bad we didn't draw. A good card here. I wonder if it was better to play the Changeling. 3, 6, 7, 8. That's 4. Well, it ended up lining out perfectly. Do 1 damage. Get a black. And we thin the deck. What card would we want? It's not easy. Probably removal is still one of our better cards. Okay. You get to play the Revenant here. Because I want to see if we can do everything. If I Badger Maul. We can tap. Yeah. Double green. We got to play everything. Make him have it. Top 9, so I probably got our removal. Our best draws are still removal. I have no way to give haste at this point. It's too late to start our engines. They're taking a while. They only have 4 mana. Okay, they got a land. Even if the Revenant dies, I can probably give the Hydra flying. It makes even land not terrible. We'll take this. Interesting. Attack, does he have a board wipe? What is his play here? Okay. They need instant speed removal here. Alright, we got there. Super close matchup. The power we got one single trigger that won us the game. Because we forced them to block, we drew enough cards to rebuild. And we got there. But we had to just force the Kefka to burn all the removal. Saving the Changeling was game winning. Also, getting that extra card draw from Come Back Wrong was pretty good. And we got there. GG's. The post-game rant with Jenova Ancient Calamity is a pretty solid commander. It does have limitations, especially against the super linking decks that are the Simic decks or some control decks. But unlike other mid-range decks, we do have quite a bit of staking power. That ability to give a Mutant the ability, if it dies on our turn, especially against a blocker, and then draw that many cards, that might just save us. Sometimes we just need that one last land to play our extra spell, extra removal we may need, or the extra creature to rebuild. And that's all what you need. You don't need to just have your commander sit on the board a bunch of turns. Just one good setup, it's just nice. And many of the time, because all our creatures have nice stats, we don't need to give her that many stats. And it also has some, just one counter matters. For example, with Michelangelo Awareness to 11, now he gets double. We have access to Leatherhead, so we can perma deal with a bunch of artifacts or enchantments. Ouroboros just immediately is now a 2-2, so that just becomes a finisher very quickly. Even cards like the Hydra cares about counters, so giving it one more means you get to close the game quite fast. So we have quite a few synergies. We have some self-sacrifice that we need. And I would say the big things that this deck would really want is ways to get haste, because normally against the blue decks, they can just bounce your stuff and they tap out. So being able to just close the game with those hasters is huge, so that Amonkhet Raceway ends up mattering in those type of matchups. The Git Rock also matters in those type of matchups. Frenzied Bailoff makes also your creatures can be countered and gains haste. And the nice thing is we can grow it with not only our commander, but a couple other good synergies. And they're mutants. The Mutagen Man is a mutant. Angros are board. We also have Bristly Build. He's not a mutant, but he just synergizes with mutants very well. Even Bronco, I really like the Bronco in Standard Brawl. It's just quite nice. We have quite a few ways to get 3/3s, and even if we just are getting extra lands, that's just good enough. Sometimes this deck, especially these mid-range decks, need to draw that extra card. Even if it's a land, it's huge. And in many matchups, end up being relevant doing just the damage. We can do up to 4, even 5 damage to opponent. And now it becomes very difficult for the opponent to deal with us. And later on, normally the Bronco tends to not be the best at attacking because he would die. But with our commander, we give him a counter, and if he dies, it's fine. We get to draw even more cards. So that's a good thing about this commander. And what I like is we have enough creature density, so even if our commander dies, it's not too bad. It's not unreliable to just cast her on 6 if we need to. And a couple of nice cards got printed that can bring back creatures with 4 or less that are not expensive. The problem is, prior, it was only really Zombify if your commander costs 4 or less. And it had black in Brawl, for example, has a couple ways to bring back 3 or less, but 4 is effectively Zombify or anything more expensive. But now with 2 Evil to stay dead, you can bring back your commander for just 3 without the teamwork. And let's say your Gitrod dies, you can team up, use the teamwork, and get him back. So we have quite a few options to either get our commander back or most of our creatures. So it's pretty good. Definitely the best set you want if you want to craft this commander is a lot of the mutants. I believe almost all of them are from the turtle set. So we name mutant. I believe, yeah, most are from the turtle set. Yeah, this is pretty much the best set for this commander. There's one from Dustmorn with the Huntwoods. I believe other than that, it is the... Yeah, I don't think there's any other mutant that is not from the turtle set. Yes, turtle set if you want to make this commander quite good. And you have a couple other ways you can lean more into sacrifice if you need to. Or you can just play on curve and it just works pretty well. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.